Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where last episode we had a native uprising and we took over all of their territory. So that's absolutely great. We're no longer colonizing that, and now we can properly build it up as we intended to do. So there are a few peasants up over here, I'm noticing. 3.34k. Overall, the population here is very low. We're not shocked about that, but it is what it is. Actually, there's 42k population down here still. 25k here, 12.7 and 15.4. So there's a decent amount of population still to be had down this way. Landowners are no longer powerful. Well, so we're back down into an unacceptable government, and there's not a lot we could do about that. We could drop our taxes. Actually, we could drop our taxes. We'll do it, but I'm not happy about it. Okay, so that's fine for the moment. We're likely going to dip negative here and there, especially as this government administration finishes. But for the moment, I think that's okay. We need to get our population up. We need to keep our radicals as low as we can. So we're working on that. That's definitely something that we are in process on. I want to check here to see... We do actually need to incorporate... Mendoza and Alto Paraguay. They're already being incorporated. Okay, 8 months and 22 months. Sounds good. No problem there. What is currently expensive? Employees. Okay. Fair enough. We need more of those. We definitely do. And we are growing at a reasonable clip. 1.10 million now. Well, 1.1 million, really. 1.1 million is our current population, and we are growing at about 0.7% per year. So that's okay, but we're definitely seeing more growth than that. A lot of that is due to our colonization. When our colonization ends, problems will ensue. That's pretty clear. The question is, are we going to have additional native uprisings? I don't know. Do we still have our import routes for our military goods? I don't think so. No. Okay. I did remember to cancel those. Good. Just wanted to double check that. That's looking fine. Our GDP has dropped a little bit here. It's just kind of holding firm, and that's mostly because we just don't have people. We have a few unemployed here, but I'm expecting that to... Ooh. What just changed here? Ah, okay. It was our investment pool. We were building our government administration, which we're not allowed to spend the investment pool money on, so that built up, and we just used it up in 1 month. That's fine. That's fine. No problem whatsoever there. This is all looking good. So we're now positive again in our bureaucracy. That's excellent. A very small excess bureaucracy, but it's okay. We'll get some state construction efficiency. A devout scandal, huh? The leader of the Catholic Church had a secret affair with a member of the clergy. His resignation is being demanded. The people must know of his depravity. Done. Fantastic. So our number of loyalists is coming up somewhat, and our number of radicals is coming down. Now, laissez-faire is kind of the opposite direction as what we want to go economically. We need to get some laws passed. That would be good for us. That's our taxation again. Laissez-faire is here. We want eventually a command economy, but nobody's in favor of this, obviously. So that's fine. What we really, really want here, though, is to work up our health system, which is not currently possible. Dynamite has 33 months left on it, so that will be an improvement for us, and we might need some fertilizer factories once we have that done. We do produce some fertilizer. Tools are expensive right now, and I think that's largely due to Buenos Aires railway woes. One thing we could definitely do is we could put in decrees for road maintenance in some of these locations. So this is in... primarily Buenos Aires and Tucumán. So we can do something like that. And then there's also Mendoza as the next lowest. So we can do something like this. Unfortunately, we can't also get Cordoba. But that will help matters. I don't expect that to fix this. And indeed it does not. The core issue, of course, is that we just don't have enough workers. Or is the core problem that transportation isn't expensive enough? Weekly balance isn't super high. Engines are still fairly expensive. Okay, and engines are mostly expensive because of the price of steel. And steel, what's going on with steel? Steel is negative due to the price of coal. Okay, so we're working on these logging camps right now. We need to get some... not like that. We need to get some coal mines moved up here. Because the coal mines are going to give us economy of scale. So I'm going to move these maize farms and banana plantations back down. We'll move up this logging camp as well as this one, but we're going to make this coal mine be first, followed by this logging camp, then this coal mine, then this logging camp. That'll keep us going for a little bit. And that's mostly about the economy of scale. But to be honest, we're going to get a huge throughput increase when dynamite finishes. So that is definitely something to think about. Tools are currently expensive. We have dipped slightly negative in our finances. I'm not shocked about that. That is about what I expected. We'll fluctuate here around 0 for a little bit. Sounds good. And this logging camp will be done in 12 weeks. This coal mine in 11. Yeah, that'll be fine. We're up to 1.11 million now. We're definitely growing faster than 0.75%. Actually, look at that uptick. That's neat. I like that. That's probably due to our annexation over here. We didn't have all that many people die in the war, so it's all good. All good. We're going to finish up colonizing in Buenos Aires fairly soon. Peru-Bolivia is currently improving relations with us. That's fine. We're not too concerned about it right now. There is a grain input goods shortage. So with there being a grain input goods shortage, we want to get these wheat farms in Buenos Aires moved up. So where are they? We need just one. And we'll put that, I think, here. I'm not that concerned about that logging camp. So we'll get that underway. That logging camp may still be done before the wheat farm, for the record. And we do have a few unrealized taxes here due to our radicals. But our radicalism is ticking downward. Our loyalists are kind of holding firm, which isn't ideal, but it'll do for now. We're up to 12.7 for our standard of living. That's a good sign. Everybody's above their minimum expected. So that's excellent. We've still got that grain input goods shortage. That'll be finished in 9 weeks. I'm not too concerned about that. And 2 weeks on this coal mine. So, I mean, that'll only give us like a 1% throughput increase here, because we're not going to get this fully employed. But the throughput increase is what we're really after here. That colonial exploitation is nice, no doubt about that, but we're going to lose that soon once this becomes... yeah, we're already an incorporated state. So we lose that throughput bonus, which is sad, but it's okay. We will ultimately gain more from that than we will lose. There's a lot of turmoil here, to be sure. But we're hoping that that turmoil will drop down soon. Note that we are not using violence suppression because that increases mortality. We do not want to increase mortality right now. 0.81% annual projected pop growth. That's good. I like it. We're currently running a sulfur input goods shortage, and we have low government legitimacy again. We're at exactly a contested government, and we can't bring that up. The fact of the matter is, the landowners have lost a fair amount of clout. Which is sad. We might be able to replace them eventually with the armed forces again. Which would, of course, currently destroy our acceptability rating. But for the moment, we'll keep an eye on that. Enact laissez-faire and landed voting, huh? I don't think we want voting. There's a steel input goods shortage. I'm not super shocked about that one. And we did finish up that mine. Or rather, that wheat mine. That's the word for that, I'm sure. What we really need to do here is drop the price of... I mean, there's still coal that needs to drop the price. So, for the moment, that's okay. I mean, our primary cost here is not wages. Indeed. Definitely not wages. Our primary cost is still iron. Iron and coal. Both of those will get dealt with or dramatically reduced once we get dynamite researched. So that is the current goal there. Beautiful. Our average standard of living has jumped up to 13. That's really, really good. And we're continuing to see our radicals drift downward. I like it. Market access is still low in a number of locations. It is what it is. We need employees in our railways. We could subsidize them. And that's an option. But ultimately, we just need people, more than anything. All of this construction that we're doing, of course, doesn't help our lack of people. But it does create, I think, migration opportunities for other people to come in, which I think is what we're seeing, because I do believe that we're growing faster than our annual projected pop growth, which does not include migration. So hopefully we'll bring people in. Our GDP has been hovering at around 5 million for a very long time now, though, and I'm not happy about that. So that is unfortunate, but it is what it is. And that's, again, primarily due to the fact that we're just getting bonuses right now through economy of scale. We're not getting actual growth here. We've dipped negative here. That's okay. We are getting close to our gold reserves being maxed out, so I'm completely fine with that. Let's see. This logging camp will be done in 8 weeks, and then we'll build this coal mine after. That'll be fine. Not concerned about that. So the logging camps will get done. What are we running a shortage of? Grain again. I believe that is entirely due to a lack of people being employed here. That is accurate. They've got the cash reserves. They are just unable to fully hire. Couldn't hire slaves due to slaves can only be hired if unemployed or working in a subsistence building. Okay. So what that's saying is we just don't have enough employees. We are hiring in, though. Cool. We're producing some wine, but price on wine is very, very low. More importantly, we're producing grain. The duel. Let them fight. Cool, the politicians are dead. Or at least one of the politicians are. So there's extreme support for landed voting right now. Would landed voting be good for us? It unlocks women's suffrage. But I don't think women in the workplace is automatically activated with women's suffrage, right? Hang on, I'm checking here. The chance that women's blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I need to check here. So 15% workplace ratio. So yeah, this is actually better for us. Minus 5% birth rate isn't great, though. Is that worth the 15% workforce ratio? That's a good question. It would be a 10% birth rate net. We'll keep an eye on it. If the radicalism gets too high, we could go for it. I'd rather not at this time. I want to keep our birth rate high. We're at 0.83% now. So that's looking good. 0.84%. Our annual pop growth is really starting to take off. So that's good. Our construction speed is remaining the same, but our pop growth is growing faster and faster all the time. We are hitting an exponential curve there. I would like to continue to get that curve even harder. But for the time now, or for the time being, this is all the harder we can hit that curve, which is unfortunate. I would like to definitely work up some mortality reductions We just don't have the opportunity at this moment. Hopefully that'll pop in later on. But dynamite researching will be done in 19 months. That is a big deal. Checking in on our population here. We're now up to 1.12 million. I like it. And does this give us additional information on the pop growth? Not really. Okay. We do have some unincorporated population. That'll be up over here. And that'll be incorporated in 5 months. So that's good. We could immediately start constructing a railway up here. That is a possibility, actually. And do we want to do that here, though? I want to get this coal mine done first, and then we'll build the railway with the, like, scraps that are left over after that. So that'll be fine. These guys are not really doing any native uprisings at this moment. So we're just going to continue to colonize these areas. We are almost done colonizing Buenos Aires, but it will be a little bit yet. So our current population here is 335k, growing by 0.91%. I wish we could see the breakdown of what's giving us this birth rate. So that I knew just how much changing that would affect our actual birth rate. I think it would be too much. I don't think we can get to universal suffrage. I don't think that will be viable. So for the moment, we're chilling. 9.73k here. And our GDP has actually started to climb again. 5.6 million I saw for a bit there. Cool. That's really good for us. And we're just continuing to colonize down this direction. All of this colonization is proceeding apace. Oh, this is an unincorporated state, but it's a colony that's still growing. Right. Sure. 10.6, we would have the bureaucracy for this once this colony is grown. So that'll be okay. Can we get any additional colonies going here? So this map list isn't giving us our colonies anymore. Percussion cap has been unlocked. That's fine. We don't really care about that. This is a countries map list at this time. So that's the thing. Okay. Noted. How far are we now on dynamite? 15 months. That's still a ways. No doubt about that. So once dynamite finishes, steam donkeys wouldn't be the worst thing. That said, I definitely do want to start moving into labor movement. That would be good. That would indeed be good. Okay. So I'm just trying to make some plans here about what our future tech path is going to look like, and making our way down towards socialism is maybe not the worst thing here, because we're all about the population growth right now. If we can have a big population boom, which things are going well on that front, if we can have a big population boom in the next 10 to 15 years, that's going to be a huge deal. Absolutely huge. We will be able to start making moves on some of these other guys, which we currently really can't do. We could maybe go after Uruguay. Maybe. What is their current diplomacy? They're improving relations with New Granada, and they're rivaled with Brazil. Hang on. Uruguay has... I want the actual state here. Not the state. I want the nation. Uruguay has 167k and 2 battalions. If they're rivaled with Brazil, then I think we need to damage relations with them so we can get some diplomatic plays on them. I don't know if Brazil would actually back them. Or would... Surely they wouldn't. They're rivaled. Like, Brazil likes us. So this feels like an opportunity. We can maybe attack Uruguay. We'll look into it, for sure. And relations are currently neutral. They are wary towards us. They view us as a potential threat. As well they should. They definitely should view us as a potential threat. We're finishing up this railway now. And that's all fine. There we go. That railway is now completed. And that is good. It should have at least some employees. There we go. And that should bring up the standard of living there somewhat. Oh yeah, 9.6. Much better. Population is also increasing by 0.28% here. Mortality is pretty high. No doubt about that. We've got some migration coming out of Buenos Aires, but, I mean, I guess that's to be expected because we're growing faster here than anywhere else, right? 1% pop growth here. So migration out of here to where other jobs are makes some sense. That said, I believe that we have plenty of jobs in Buenos Aires, so maybe they're not available right now. Like, maybe they don't have the qualifications. That's a possibility. So, checking in on Uruguay here. No possible diplomatic play at this time. And I'm wondering why that is. I'm guessing it's due to the relations. I don't know that for a fact. Let's check in on our laws here. We're on an autocracy. We have a professional army. We should be able to make plays. I think it's just due to the relations. Is my guess. So let's drop our relations down. And that's going to be going down eventually. Eventually. So that's fine. Our GDP has also dropped a little bit. So that causes our radicals to come up. But I'm guessing that's due to either low market access or simply a problem with our costs. Most likely. So we're getting these economies of scale in our coal mines to try to recover that 10% that we lost in our throughput. And tools are pretty expensive. That's unsurprising, I gotta say. I'm going to probably expand the tooling workshop. Ah, a native uprising against us. Mapuche. Okay. I like it. So we are going to add... Actually, our war goal is to annex Mapuche. That's completely fine. Our colonization of Buenos Aires is completed, and the former colony is now a proper state. That is good. That is good. So there's a native uprising here, and I don't think that this is going to be a threat at all. Currently... I mean, they have 1 unit mobilized. We'll mobilize this guy. I'm not going to bother to increase our actual units. And all of them are going over here. This seems fine. They now have 2 units mobilized. So this is going to get us all of this territory. That's great. We will be able to colonize over here, but there's our dynamite discovered now. And the Bessemer process, which is very, very good for us. And next up, I think we do go for labor movement. So we'll grab that, and now we can go into our buildings here and bump all of these rural buildings here over to dynamite. So they are going to need engineers, but that will increase their throughput dramatically. The main question is, how's the price of explosives going to be? And I think it's going to be real high. So explosives are going to need to be something that we deal with. Chemical plants produce fertilizer, not explosives. Explosives are produced where exactly? In chemical plants. Okay, so we just need to change over our chemical plant then. We already have a chemical plant, do we not? No, we didn't build one. That's right. So we have no chemical plant right now. And I'm going to build that in Alto Paraguay, or actually in Chaco, where we have the most number of potential employees. We're going to put that in up here. I do definitely expect explosives to be an input goods shortage here. Yes. For the moment, we will look to import them. We'll get 36 and 8. That does put us temporarily negative in our bureaucracy. For the moment, that's okay. We need to get this chemical plant done. And we're working on it. We also have police brutality up over here. I don't want to change our level of institution in law enforcement, so the use of force is warranted. Cool. So checking over here, we have a decent advantage. And it should be fine. They only have 2 units. I'm not too concerned. Now, we should still have an explosives input goods shortage. That is fully expected. Hopefully we'll get this chemical plant done soon. And we'll need people to, you know, operate it. That'll be a thing too. But we'll come down here and colonize this very shortly. So Countdown to War is going to be beginning shortly as well. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to fight this war. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. And a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Casserole, ALS Gamer, Kentuin, James, Shadowwolf, Mlohan80, Kentogan, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Unisoul, Kadra, Rogue Corvid, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.